Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
Bond denied for the Wixom man charged with attacking a police officer at our nation's capital with a hockey stick, and new evidence unveiled in court today.
Forget football. Ford Field will soon be hosting thousands of people every day looking to get their COVID-19 vaccine. I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do right now to get an appointment.
But we need to begin with the weather. Ben is tracking a chance for some of us to wake up to gulp snow tomorrow. What a nasty little surprise. Good to have you with us today at 5, but it is a reminder that March in Michigan can bring some winter weather with it.
Let's get over to Ben and what he's tracking on Storm Tracker 4. Ben, this is not going to be all snow.
No, it's not, and it's probably going to be a lot not as bad as what it's showing up on Storm Tracker 4. A lot of this stuff is not making it to the ground. We've got very dry air over the top of us, and you've really got to get almost down to Findlay here before that's precipitation is actually making it to the surface. Latest reports, Fort Wayne now dry. Lima showing just a few flakes there, but Toledo and Coldwater are both dry, as are points north. So I think it's going to be closer to about 7 o'clock before we start seeing this roll into the south zone. Likely starting as a little bit of a mix, maybe some sleet, freezing rain, and there is a possibility that some of that freezing rain could put down a small glaze, but a lot of that's going to be south of 8 Mile. Once it gets north of there, that's pretty much snow through the overnight. Yes, there will be some minor accumulations. We're going to stress the word minor, even though most people won't hear that and just freak out anyway. But temperatures are going from the mid to low 30s, and we will be seeing that mix through the evening hours tonight. So coming up, we'll talk more about how much we can expect to wake up with tomorrow morning. Guys?
Talk to you soon, Ben. Thank you. Today, we expected to see the first appointments open up for the new mass vaccination site at Ford Field.
Turns out a last-minute hang-up has put that process on hold, at least for the moment. Let's get to consumer investigator Hank Winchester, who's live at Ford Field. There is obviously a lot of interest in getting one of those first slots there, Hank.
Absolutely, Devin. I mean, people wanted to register this morning. I'll be honest with you, this has been kind of a disaster today. Apparently, it's been a battle between Meijer and FEMA. Meijer saying at the last minute, FEMA demanded some big changes to the website, and apparently that's what's caused all the big delays today. The registration website for Meijer says beginning today, you can register for the COVID-19 vaccine at Ford Field. But when you click on the link, it just takes you to the State of Michigan website. A rep for Meijer tells me the delay is on the feds, who apparently hadn't signed off on all of this just yet. However, we're told the registration process online should be up and running very soon. So what can you expect? Well, when it is running, you can register at clinic.meijer.com. Appointments will begin on Wednesday, March 24th. 6,000 shots will be given out each day, and Pfizer is the vaccine that is being offered up to all of you first. Ford Field was selected as a site for vaccine distribution for a few reasons: size, location, and it's also easily identified by most Detroiters. Most know where Ford Field is located. The hope that once this process begins, that up to 40,000 people each week could get vaccinated here at the home of the Lions. Just within the last 20 minutes, a Meijer spokesperson called me and said, hey, good news, the website is now up and running, but we have producers at the station, also those working from home right now, who are trying to get on the site to register or at least begin the process. And as of right now, at least for us, it is not up and running. So it appears that the glitches are continuing right now. But again, Meijer saying they are hopeful that this will be up and running very soon and that you'll soon be able to register and make an appointment to get vaccinated here at Ford Field. We're live downtown. Hank Winchester. Help me, Hank.
And we will keep watching it very closely. All right, Hank. Attorneys for the Wixom man accused of being one of the most violent participants in the siege on the U.S. Capitol are rolling out their defense.
They say Michael Foy was trying to help, not hurt police, as he swung a hockey stick in the crowd. Let's bring in defender Sean Lay. And Sean, Foy was back in court today.
Back in court, and let's reiterate this, this was a big battle inside a courtroom, a federal courtroom in D.C. When it was all said and done, big arguments on both sides, federal government and Michael Foy and his attorney. The judge actually let Foy have it, saying, you're no hero, you weren't defending anyone, and she denied letting him out on bond. This video is shocking. It is body camera video from a police officer January 6th. He's being beaten by a man armed with a hockey stick. Federal prosecutors say they used videos, news footage, social media posts to identify the man they say is Michael Foy from Wixom. The feds have hit back, slamming Foy with 5 felonies, and he's been held in jail since they raided his Wixom condo January 21st. Today, Foy went to court arguing he wants to be released on bond. The feds argue no way. They believe Foy is a danger to the public, arguing he allegedly brought the hockey stick from Michigan to D.C. to use it as a weapon, and they say he did just that against police. The feds also filed this new photo they say is Foy, throwing a sharpened pole at police outside of the Capitol. They argue he wasn't protecting anyone. He went inside, allegedly yelled for others to join in, and prosecutors took a photo off of Foy's own cell phone showing the mob trashing that part of the Capitol. Michael Foy has a veteran Washington, D.C. public defender who argues let Foy out of detention. Attorney A.J. Kramer argues federal prosecutors have zero evidence that Foy rallied others to join in on violence that forced members of Congress and the vice president to evacuate, and that people were being crushed and smothered outside in the chaos. He says it was Foy using the hockey stick to help them. Kramer arguing, quote, Mr. Foy's actions in those 25 seconds were justified. Bottom line, the judge saying no to that argument and holding Foy again in custody until his next hearing, which will be on April 9th. Also important to point out, Michael Foy has pleaded not guilty to each and every one of these charges. Back to you guys.
Yeah, he has. And Sean, Foy also had another request for the judge. Talk a little bit about that.
Request also an argument. His attorney says the other side, the federal prosecutors, he believes are dragging their feet, not handing over the evidence as it comes in as they should. The judge understood and said she would take it under advisement.
Yeah. Okay. Sean, thanks.
The Justice Department says 2 men responsible for assaulting U.S. Capitol Police Officer Brian Sicknick are in jail.
Sicknick died after responding to hundreds of rioters who stormed the U.S. Capitol on January 6th. 32-year-old Jillian Cater of Pennsylvania and 39-year-old George Tenios of West Virginia allegedly worked together to spray police, including Sicknick, with bear spray. The 2 men face multiple charges, with several of them relating to violence and assaulting officers.
Michigan's Attorney General Dana Nessel turns down a request to open an investigation into Governor Whitmer.
The request comes from 8 state senators. They say they are concerned about the governor's handling of COVID-19 patients in nursing homes, the accuracy of COVID-19 reporting data, compliance with CDC guidelines, and compliance with the State Freedom of Information Act. Attorney General Dana Nessel addressed each of the 4 areas of concern and detailed why each concern did not warrant the opening of an investigation.
Let's take a look now at the coronavirus numbers from the weekend. 3,143 new cases over the past 2 days, so there's an average of 1,571 cases per day. State also reporting 9 more coronavirus deaths over the same time period.
And now let's take a look at the vaccine. 3.4 million doses have been delivered here to the state of Michigan. 2.9 million shots have gone into arms. And nationwide, the White House COVID response team says nearly 30% of American adults and nearly 2/3 of seniors have received at least their first shot of the vaccine.
Some 3.2 million vaccinations were given out just this past Saturday alone, but that progress comes as health officials grow increasingly alarmed at loosening restrictions. Vaccinations continue to pick up pace, but scenes from crowded beaches have the CDC director in no mood to celebrate.
We have seen footage of people enjoying spring break festivities maskless. This is all in the context of still 50,000 cases per day.
There's also great concern about surges in some countries in Europe.
I'm pleading with you for the sake of our nation's health. These should be warning signs for all of us.
There was some encouraging research involving schools. A Harvard study found no difference in COVID transmission rates in Massachusetts schools when students were 3 feet apart instead of the CDC recommended 6 feet. Students all wore masks and other precautions were in place.
We are looking at these data carefully. The question actually prompted more studies to be done, so we know more are forthcoming. We're taking all of those data carefully and revisiting our guidances in that context.
And with more Americans getting vaccinated every day, Dr. Anthony Fauci urged the nation to focus less on herd immunity and more on overall progress.
Why don't we just say, get as many people vaccinated as quickly as you possibly can? And every day that goes by now, with more than 2 million doses going into people, we're getting closer and closer to control of this pandemic.
Some more good news. A new CDC report found 96% of people are getting their second dose of the vaccine within the recommended time frames. Only 3% missed that second dose. And by the way, when they did, systems were in place to make sure those doses were not wasted.
A woman is in custody after her boyfriend is stabbed to death in Southfield. This happened this morning at the Lancaster Hills apartment complex near 12 Mile and Telegraph. A 27-year-old man was taken to the hospital where he died from his injuries. We're working to find out if the 22-year-old woman will face charges. Police are not releasing the victim's identity at this time.
An investigation's underway after a man is found dead in a house fire. He was found this afternoon on Faust near West Warren on Detroit's west side. Officials tell us the victim was an elderly man. His body was burned almost beyond recognition. An investigation into the cause of the fire continues.
We are off and running here on a Monday. Let's check in with Priya.
The Dearborn community, and in fact communities around the world, rallying for a family after a freak accident sends a little boy into the ICU.
I was with him. I was holding his hand. I was watching the screen. His heart was stopping slowly.
Tonight that family is considering suing the hospital. We'll tell you why.
Our Priya, thousands of spring breakers descend on South Texas, ready to party with no mask mandate in place. Victor.
This is a common occurrence, and the homeowner is wondering why her house is always being hit. We'll tell you why coming right up.